Do you remember Johnny Carson? Millennials may not know him, so they should watch his sketches on YouTube. He was one of my favorite comedians and talk show hosts of all time. His comic sketches as Karnak the Magnificent, Sage, and Soothsayer are classic. So today, I will be a soothsayer. This past Friday, the Sequester went into effect. Planes did not drop out of the sky, and I was still able to boil water on my stove. But based on feedback from recruiters and executives over the past several months leading up to this, the overwhelming consensus is that it will have, at the very least, a dampening impact on hiring. But it could also propel us back into a recession. So my first sooth is that executives will face a more difficult challenge in finding a new position. But in the long run, our economy will be much better for it. While this might sound heartless, cutbacks in our out-of-control government spending are mandatory. But in the meantime, whether you are employed or seeking employment, you need to be prepared for this. My second sooth is for recruiters. Corporate demand for recruiting services will be negatively impacted. Recruiters need to prepare for this as well. Whether you are a job seeker or recruiter, here's what you can do to be a survivor. First, let's focus on job seekers. Do not discount that it will impact you. Do not believe that you are immune from being downsized, or, if you are already in the market, from finding it even tougher to land that next position. Number two, you need to develop some insurance policies. Dramatically build your LinkedIn network. You should have at least 1,000 connections. Now, it's easier to get to that number than you realize. Just work on it consistently every day, add a few, and you will get there. You should be targeted in the people you select. It should be a combination of recruiters, VCs, PEs, corporate decision makers, and members of boards. Number three, communicate regularly with your connections and groups using LinkedIn updates, blog posts, and groups participation. Yes, you should have a blog. We'll touch on more on that later. Number four, here's a LinkedIn communication tip that is priceless. LinkedIn allows you to export all of your connections to an Excel file and segment them by numerous criteria of your choice. You can use a contact management program or email service like iContact to regularly provide relevant emails to your connection segments, i.e. maybe new blog posts or articles you have written, new technologies, and insights from your leadership experiences. Number five, it goes without saying that your resume or portfolio should always be current, but in addition, you should create a visionary value proposition in writing. Corporate decision makers need a reason to hire you. A traditional resume in today's tough market just doesn't cut it. Number six, if you don't have a blog, start one. It is a priceless strategy to establish your credibility, vision, strategic thinking, and value proposition. It also demonstrates that you are current and contemporary in today's social media world, helping you to overcome any age discrimination. It is not as much work as some people think. When you post at least once a week, it establishes you as an authority, and the SEO gives you great presence on the web. A huge plus is that you should always include your blog link to recruiters and corporate decision makers for every position you pursue. That is a grand slam home run. Number 7, participate in numerous industry conferences, trade shows, and alumni networking events. Too many senior execs don't network as often as they did when they were younger. Never stop networking. Number 8, whether you are employed or unemployed, view yourself as an independent contractor. Continually be on the lookout for the next opportunity. Take job interviews and continually build great industry partnerships with key influencers. Now let's focus on recruiters. Are you prepared for a decline in search assignments? Here are a few tips for survival. Number 1, if you are an expert in an industry or functional area or your practice area, perhaps you can provide organizational development assistance in light of this potential recession. Notice I didn't say be a consultant. The world is overloaded with consultants. You want to implement bottom line organizational strategies for clients. Remember, the key word is implement. Number 2, the web is loaded with services to easily build your own website to showcase those services. Now, while you may have a recruiting website, it can be to your benefit to have a separate URL for your organizational development services. Now, what is critical is don't wait for the economy to be impacted. Start doing this now. Number 3, evaluate other services and options you might be able to provide, including outplacement, career coaching, interviewing strategies, salary negotiations, and resume writing. Our organization, Corporate Warriors, provides those services, and I would enjoy talking with you about our Recruiter Alliance Network as an alternative revenue source. Number 4, perhaps you should consider adding other practice areas to your business and perhaps partnering with other independent recruiters. There is strength in numbers. Many recruiters avoid doing splits. However, you might want to rethink that strategy in light of today's marketplace. So whether you are currently employed, a job seeker, or a recruiter, you want to position yourself to survive in the turmoil our economy is about to go through. One of my favorite quotes is, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." It might be wise advice to follow. Corporate Warriors represent senior executives seeking new opportunities. Please contact me if you would like to learn how we can be of benefit. And if you are a recruiter, I would enjoy talking with you about our Recruiter Alliance Network. I wish all of you the very best of success and make it a productive and enjoyable day.